Today on Currie Explained, custom third members and the options that we offer. Thanks for tuning in to Currie Explained. Today we're going to talk about Currie third members. We have a few options on our website, and I know if you go through them, sometimes it gets a little bit confusing, so I'm going to try to help you out on some decision making. Our major third members kind of toggle between 31 and 35 spline. When do you need to go up to 35 spline? If you're drag racing and making a lot of traction, what's happening out on that tire is it's gripping the ground and it's twisting up that axle shaft. Well, the larger the diameter of the axle shaft, the more of that twisting force it can put up with. That's when we want to go and upgrade to 35 spline. So if you're running a wide tire and making 1,000 horsepower and you're launching on a prepped surface on a drag slick, consider moving up to the 35 spline. Or if you're doing heavy racing, autocross, long track, where you're going to have a lot of tire on the ground, making 1,000 horsepower and making traction. Making traction is key. You're not just doing a burnout. If you're making traction, let's go ahead and upgrade to 35 spline. Differential choices between the two. Our Currie Twin-Trac in a 31 spline is perfect for the street. If you're going to be building a standard street rod or muscle car C10 under 1,000 horsepower and you're just on the street on a street tire, the Currie Twin-Trac is a good option for that in 31 spline. Going to the 35 spline for something that's going to be driven on the street, something like the Truetrac or Wavetrac is also available in a 35 spline option. Both of those are what are called a helical gear limited slip. Some people call it or nicknamed it a worm gear style. Basically all that means is no clutch pack to ever have to rebuild, traction locks are gone the way of the past, and no friction modifier added to the gear oil. No posi additive, love that in a 35 spline option. Other differential choices, depending on the type of use for the vehicle, are also going to include, say, an open diff. Kind of only good application for that is going to be like a very low power street rod, but even those guys are going to benefit from running a Twin-Trac or Truetrac. But if you got an open diff, you might want that in a lowrider that does three-wheeling. You know, if you're really going to pull a front end off the ground, you really don't need posi to do that. Perfect application for an open diff. If you guys are going to be drag racing, spools are also available in 31 spline and 35 spline. That's really the best place to run a spool. I don't recommend running a spool on the street only because it puts a lot of stress on the axle shafts as it's going around a corner because it just doesn't let it smoothly slip throughout the corner. You're kind of dragging that axle shaft. Puts a lot of unnecessary stress on it. But if you are going to drive it on the street and you have a drag race application, somebody who maybe wants to drive to the track, race, and drive home, the Detroit locker is also still available. It's a ratcheting style differential. We've gone over this before on our website and our tech help, but that ratcheting style differential can be a little loud, a little cumbersome, but it will still allow that wheel, that inside wheel, to slip at a different rate than the outside wheel when going around a corner. You'll hear that clicking noise. That's how you know you got a Detroit locker, but it'll lock up 100% spool if you're going down the dragway. So Detroit locker is a good one for that application. Still recommend the Twin-Trac if you're definitely going to be driving it on the street, or a Truetrac in a 35 spline application. The differences between the two cases, this is our 35 spline Pro case. The Pro case has additional ribbing on the front side of it, clearly marked with our Currie C on the front side. Our 35 spline Pro differentials are also going to be equipped with our red anodized aluminum pinion support and our chromoly 1350 yoke. In our 31 spline, these are also options that you can option up to. Our standard is going to be our standard big bearing pinion support and a 1350 nodular iron yoke. We standardized on a 1350 yoke. The reason for that is, one, it's pretty much well accepted across the aftermarket. Everybody from a drive shaft company to a driveline company is going to know what a 1350 U-joint is. It's also very adaptable. So if you got a 1310 and you need to upgrade to mate to a 1350, it could be done with a combination U-joint. And we list combination U-joints on the tech page on our website if you have any questions in regards to what those part numbers might be. The 31 spline Sportsman case has one less rib and it has a smaller carrier bearing. You'll hear this a lot. It's a 3 1/16 bearing versus the 3 1/4 bearing in the 35 spline. That's one identifier of moving up to a 35 spline case. So if you want to upgrade, it is a different case. Whether you're purchasing a 31 spline or a 35 spline third member, our Sportsman case or our Pro case, Our pinion support bolts are specific styled to be a pinion support bolt. It's not a standard grade 8 bolt with a lock washer. We're using premium product here that we have developed over time for doing this from 60 years. We have a certain way that we have perfected building 9-inch rear ends, and all of this comes from our engineering know-how. All of our third members also come with a fill hole on the side to fill oil. It's a 3/8 hex head. You can easily remove it, fill it up to just below that, usually on a car application about 3 quarts, depending on the housing style, and then easily put that back in after filling your gear oil. If you have any questions regarding what's best for your application, please give us a call, send us an email, or leave a comment below, and we'll get back to you. Thanks for watching today. If you like this video, subscribe here. For more Currie tech videos, click right here. And for other Currie content, click right here. Thanks for watching, guys.